Hi, I'm Munchadass, the Dungeon Master, and we're going to talk about Strixhaven. Now, as you all know, Wizards of the Coast just announced that they are going to what the next expansions are going to be, and one of them is going to be Strixhaven. We should maybe be seeing a demo or some teasers by June 8th, I heard. So let's see how that goes. I'm rather excited. As a Magic the Gathering player, I'm a little bit familiar with the setting. So here are a couple of my predictions, anticipations, and thoughts about the upcoming Strixhaven setting. So now the story is going to take place on the plane of Arcavius. I think I'm pronouncing it correctly, which is a magical plane for Magic the Gathering. Now, the cosmology system of Magic the Gathering and Dungeons and Dragons are a little bit different, and I don't know how they're going to tie the two together, or if they're going to bother to try, or what they did with Ravnica, it's just a pocket dimension or something like that. But anyway, it takes place on Arcavios, which is a world which still has relics from its creation scattered about it and is just like overwhelming with magical power. So we can expect to see some like elemental, like environmental hazards that are magic related because there's like portals there where magic explodes out and so we could probably be pretty dangerous overland travel areas. Now the main storyline is going to have to take place in the Mage School there, which is called Strixhaven, where it gets its name, which is why, of course, it has to take place there. Now, Strixhaven as a Mage School, it's sort of like Hogwarts. You've got five different schools, which all study different schools of magic respectfully. And I don't know how they're going to divvy up those schools of magic because in Magic the Gathering, obviously, they use colors. So you have red, blue, white, black, green, and they divvy those up in combinations of two to the five schools. But in uh, Dungeons and Dragons, you have Conjuration, Abjuration, all of the different stuff. Oh Lord, a train. I hope that's not too loud for you guys. But so I don't know how they're gonna divvy these up, but the schools are Quandrix, Witherbloom, Lorehold, Silverquill, and Prismari, respectfully, and they all represent at least two or more schools of magic. And I'm sure there's gonna be some overlap. And in D&D, they'll probably practice all schools of magic, and they'll just like be some overlap as for the themes. But I could expect to see some new, maybe sorcerer school, stuff, some wizard schools, some new sorcerer pack or warlock packs. Definitely more spell casting variations and that are going to come up, and I'm expecting to see some new spells. Probably a lot of new spells. Probably more new spells than any other fifth edition module that's come out yet. Like Rime of the Frost Maiden had a few new spells, and don't get me wrong, Frost Fingers is great, but I'm expecting this one to have some really a lot of other stuff. Uh, Also, we can expect to see elder dragons because that is a big kind of plot point. The school was formed by a bunch of dragons. I think it was five elder dragons, one for each school. Very Harry Potter-esque. It might actually be more than five, though. I think there's actually like seven, maybe. But we'll see. But you can expect to see elder dragons working behind the scenes. Now, I don't know if they're actually going to become involved in the storyline, or if you're just going to meet them as quest givers, or if you'll meet them at all and they'll only be referenced. But the school was formed by these elder dragons, so we can expect to see some pretty awesome dragon stuff coming up. Also, I'm hoping we get to see Liliana as a teacher. As an NPC. Now, Liliana in the Magic the Gathering is awesome, and I don't know if they're actually going to let her come over, but if we can get an NPC Liliana, she's a super powerful necromancer. She's 200 years old. She studied at Strixhaven when she was young, went and traveled the planes, traveled the cosmos, became very, very powerful. She sold her soul to demons, made a pact with some demons, so I guess she's a warlock. At least she has some warlock levels, but she made a pact with some demons that she has eternal youth and power, so she's ridiculously strong. Uh, and she comes back to Strixhaven to teach and also try to learn to resurrect her former party member who has died, Gideon. Uh, Now that's the Magic the Gathering lore. If you're into that, I don't know, but basically, I'm hoping we'll have a super powerful necromancer as an NPC teacher, good guy. So that's gonna be interesting how they play her out because she's always kind of an anti-hero, a villain, villainous type hero. And also, as far as monsters go, we can expect to see stat blocks for the Mage Hunters. Mage Hunters are giant, sort of spider-like abomination monstrosities, which for whatever reason feed on magic or sense magic users and feed on magic and will eat and kill people who use magic. Obviously, in the Magic the Gathering lore, they attack the school in an attempt to get to the library, which is also a huge thing we can expect. I expect that a lot of the actual content is going to revolve around this thing called the Biblioplex, which is a library inside of the school where there's going to be a lot of super powerful spells and information are hidden. So I'm expecting that at least several quests are going to take place in the bibliothèque, or at least in and around it, or having to do with it. If it's not a major part of the storyline, I don't know what they're doing. I'm sure it's going to be probably a huge dungeon that you'll have to do, or maybe a reoccurring dungeon, you know? We'll see. But I'm expecting most of it to take place on campus, though I assume you could play non-mage school characters running around. I don't know where are they gonna make room for the barbarians and the fighters and stuff, because people do live out on Arcavius outside of the school, but like I said, it's very wild, very scary, lots of raw natural beauty, but also lots of raw natural power. So I guess there will be room for barbarians. I suppose we could expect more wild magic type stuff. Wild magic barbarians are gonna do well, and whatnot. Your arcane knights, stuff like that. But I'm expecting a very high magic setting, and I'm excited about it. As a Magic the Gathering player and a Dungeons and Dragons player, I'm glad Wizards is going this route, even though they're probably doing it just to like save money on fantasy art. But who knows? Anyway, I'm Munchdust, the Dungeon Master. If you like this video, like and subscribe. I'm making D&D post videos all the time, and I hope you guys liked it. Have a great day.